Jai Shri Ram, Hari Om. Welcome to this evening satsang. We are going to commence with some preliminaries. So, if you are at your puja place, you should sprinkle water on yourselves and all around you while I recite this mantra. Om Pavitraha Pavitro Va Sarvavastangatopi Va Yah Smaret Pundarikaksham Sabhahyapyantraha Shuchihi. Doing Hari Smaran, thinking of Bhagwan, you should sip water from the palm of your right hand 3 times. Om Keshavaya Namaha. Om Narayanaya Namaha. Om Madhavaya Namaha. Now rinse your hands. Om Rishikeshaya Namaha. Om Govindaya Namaha. Om Madhusudanaya Namaha. If you have a paiti or a koos ring, you should put it on the right hand ring finger of the hand. Om Pavitresto Vaishnavyo Saviturvaha Prasava Utpunamya Chidrena Pavitrena Suryasya Rashmibihi Tasya Te Pavitrapate Pavitrapotasya Yatakamaha Pune Tachakeyam. Now, using the thumb of your right hand, apply chandan to your forehead. Om Chandanam Vandyate Nityam Pavitram Papanashanam Apadam Harate Nityam Lakshmir Vasati Sarvadha. If you have not lit your house lamp, you may do so now. Om Bhodhipa Tvam Brahma Rupa Andhakara Nivaraka Imam Maya Kritam Pujam Grihastejo Pravardhaya Om Deepaya Namaha. Sprinkle water on the asan or your seat. Om, thinking of Mother Earth. Om Prithivi Tvaya Dhrita Loka Devi Tvam Vishnu Nadhrita Tvangsha Dharyaman Devi Pavitrang Kuru Chasanam. We are now going to recite Swasti Vachan, mantras from the Veda, which are praising Bhagwan and appealing for wonderful things for you. To do this, you may take some flowers or white rice in the palms of your hand, put your hands together, focus your mind on Bhagwan. Om Swastina Indro Vridashravaha Swastina Pukha Vishwavedaha Swastina Starakshora Rishtanemhi Swastino Vrihaspatir Dadatu Om Payah Pritibhyam Paya Olkadishu Payo Divyantarikshe Payodaha Payasvatihi Pradishah Santo Mahyam. Om Vishnoratamasi Vishnoho Snaptresto Vishnoho Syurasi Vishnordhruvasi Vaishnavamasi Vishnavetva. Om Agnir Devata Vato Devata Suryo Devata Chandrama Devata Vasavo Devata Rudra Devata Ditya Devata Maruto Devata Vishwe Deva Devata Vrihaspatir Devatindro Devata Varuno Devata. Om Dyaho Shantir Antariksha Gwang Shanti Prithivi Shantir Apah Shantir Oshadayah Shanti Vanaspatayah Shantir Vishvedevah Shantir Brahma Shanti Sarvagong Shanti Shantireva Shanti Sama Shantiredhi Om Vishwani Deva Savitar Duritani Parasuva Yad Bhadran Tanna Suvasu Shantira Bhavatu. You may offer that onto the Vedi. Should you wish to, you may also take some flowers now while we do Dhyan mantras to the various forms of Bhagwan. We are first going to do Dhyan in respect of Bhagwan Ganesh and Mata Parvati, Gauri Mata. Ganesh Ji is the one who removes obstacles. So put your hands together and let's meditate on him. Om He He Ramba Tvame Yehi Ambika Trayambakatmaja Siddhi Buddhi Pate Trayaksha Lakshalabha Pitu Pitaha Nagasya Nagahara Tvang गणराज चतुर्भुज भूषितः स्वायुधे दिव्यै पाशाङ्कुश परश्वधे आवाहयामि पूजार्थं रक्षार्थं च ममाकृतः इहागत्य गृहाणात्वं पूजां क्रतुं च रक्ष मे। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे प्रियाणां त्वा प्रियापतिगं हवामहे निधिनां त्वा निधिपतिगुं हवामहे वसो मम आहं जानि गर्भदमातुमजासि गर्भदम्। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः गणपतये नमः। ॐ अम्बे अम्बिके अम्बालिके न मानयति कश्चन सस्य श्वकः सुभद्रिकां काम्बीलवासिनीं। ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः अम्बिकायै नमः। We are now going to do Pratana Dhyan in respect of Kalash Varun Devata. So if you have established a Kalash in your home, you may think of all the holy places of pilgrimage and focus your mind on this Kalash. Om Tattvayami Brahmana Vandamanas Shaste Yajamano Havirbhihi Ahiddamano Varunneha Bhodyurusha Gongsamanaha Ayuhu Pramoshihi. Now we are going to do Dhyan in respect of Kalash of a Nograha. So Surya Nograha Devata. Focus your mind on Bhagwan Surya and the heavenly bodies that are closest to us. Om Brahma Murari Sripurantakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Suto Buddhasya Guru Shukrah Shani Rahu Ketava Sarve Graha Shantikara Bhavantu. We are now going to focus our minds on Prabhu Shri Ram. Once again, if you have flowers, you may take flowers and do Dhyan in respect of Bhagwan Shri Ram. Om Dhyayedajanubahum Dhritasharadhanusam Bhadapadmasanastam Pitam Vasovasanam Navakamaladalas Pardinetram Prasannam Vamang Karudha Sitam Mukha Kamala Millalochanam Niradhavam Nana Alankara Deeptam Datata Murujata Mandalam Ramachandram. बोलिए विघ्नहर्ता गणेश भगवान की जय। कलश वरुण भगवान की जय। नवग्रह देवताओं की जय। श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। सीता रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। शिव शंकर भगवान की जय। We are now going to have a bhajan, and after we return from the bhajan, we will do the Ramayan invocation and the Ramayan Arti, and then we will continue with the recital. So we'll trust that you will focus your mind on Bhagwan while we listen to this bhajan.
Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. जो मुख राम जपे ना भैया वो पाछे पछताए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा जन्म सफल हो जाए। जो मुख राम जपे ना भैया वो पाछे पछताए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा जन्म सफल हो जाए। सिया राम, सिया राम, सिया राम, जय जय राम। सिया राम, सिया राम, सिया राम, जय जय राम। जप जपने से भैया चारों दिश हो जियारा। राम नाम तू रट ले मनवा, राम नाम है प्यारा। मैं तो राम नाम का प्रेमी, वो तो प्राण संभाए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। जो मुख राम जपे ना भैया, वो पाछे पछताए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। राम नाम तुलसी ने जापा, हो गई तुलसी दासा। रामायण की हर चौपाई, दोहा का मैं प्यासा। एक एक दोहा हर चौपाई, अमृत रस बरसाए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। जो मुख राम जपे ना भैया, वो पाछे पछताए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। चित्रकूट के घाट पर भई संतन की भीड़ हो। चित्रकूट के घाट पर भई संतन की भीड़। तुलसीदास चंदन घिसे, तिलक देत रघुवीर। राम नाम का आखर लिख लूं, सबसे सुंदर भाषा। सबसे प्यारा ज्ञान यही है, जीवन का अभिलाषा। राम नाम का आखर लिख लूं, सबसे सुंदर भाषा। सबसे प्यारा ज्ञान यही है, जीवन की अभिलाषा। राम नाम श्री राम नाम जप, नारायण हर्षाए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। जो मुख राम जपे ना भैया, वो पाछे पछताए। सीता राम जपे जो मनवा, जन्म सफल हो जाए। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय जय राम। सिया राम सिया राम सिया राम, जय जय राम।
Hari Om, welcome back. I trust that you have enjoyed that bhajan. We are now going to commence with the invocation for Ramcharitmanas and, of course, the Arti. While we are doing the invocation, if you don't have a diya ready to do Arti, perhaps you can prepare one. So when we do the Arti, you can also do Arti in your home. It will be most beneficial for you. If you don't have a diya, you can also use camphor. Om. 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 Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। ध्यानमूलं गुरोर्मूर्तिः पूजामूलं गुरोः पदम् मन्त्रमूलं गुरोर्वाक्यं मोक्षमूलं गुरोः कृपा। हे रामा पुरुषोत्तम नरहरे नारायणो केशवा गोविन्दो गरुडध्वज गुणनिधे दामोदर माधवा। हे कृष्णा कमलापते यदुपते सीतापते श्रीपते वैकुण्ठाधिपते चराचरपते लक्ष्मीपते पाहि माम्। जय सुमिरत सिद्धि होय सीताराम गणनायक करिवर बदन करो अनुग्रह सोय सीताराम बुद्धि राशि शुभ गुण सदन मूक होहि वाचाल सीताराम पंगु चढ़हि गिरिवर गहन जासु कृपा सु दयालु सीताराम द्रभो सकल कलिमल दहन नील सरोरो श्याम सीताराम तरुण अरुण बारिज नयन करो सुमम उरधाम सीताराम सदा क्षीर सागर शयन पुन्न इंदु समदेह सीताराम उमारमन करुणायन जाहि दीन परनेह सीताराम करो कृपा मर्दन मयन बंदो गुरुपद कंज सीताराम कृपा सिंधु नर रूप हरि महामोहतम कुंज सीताराम जासु वचन रवि कर निकर सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय कथारंभ होत है सुनो वीर हनुमान आसन को प्रभु आइए सिया सखा सहित भगवान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय। We're now going to proceed to Arti. If you have Ramcharitmanas, Ramayan in your home, you should place it on the Vedi, near your lamp, near your puja place, at your puja place, and do Arti around your murtis as well as the Ramcharitmanas, the Ramayan, okay? आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियापी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कीरति कलित ललित सियापी की गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि विज्ञान विशारद शुक सनकादि शेष अरु शारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरतिनी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की संतत गावत शंभु भवानी अरुगट संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि पुंग बकानी काकभुषुंडी गरुड के ही की आरती श्री रामायण जी की चारयु वेद पुराण अष्टदश चौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस तन मन धन संतन को सरबस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही की आरती श्री रामायण जी की कलिमल हरनि विषय रस पी की सुभग सिंहार मुक्ति युवती की हरनि रोग भव मूर्यमी की तात मात सब विधि तुलसी की आरती श्री रामायण जी की, आरती श्री रामायण जी की, कीरति कलित ललित सियापी की। बोलिए श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। Dear brothers and sisters, today we are going to be reciting from Doha number 42 of the Sundarkand. If you have your books and you wish to follow, it would be wonderful if you can recite with us. If you want to refer to the screen in front of you, the text is also going to be put up there. जिन पायन के पादुक नहीं, बरत रहे मन लाय, ते पद आजु बिलो कियहु, इन नयन ही अब जाय। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। एहि विधि करत सप्रेम विचारा, आयहु सपदि सिंधु एहि पारा। कपिन विभीषणु आवत देखा, जाना को रिपुदूत विशेषा। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। ताहिरा की कपीस पहियाए, समाचार सब ताहि सुनाए। कह सुग्रीव सुनहु रघुराया, आवा मिलन दसानन भाई। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। कह प्रभु सखा भूजहि काहा, कही कपीसु सुनहु नर नाहा। जानि न जाई निशाचर माया, काम रूप के ही कारण आया। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। वेद हमार लेन सट आवा, राखिया बांधी मोहिय सभावा। सखा नीति तुम नीकी बिचारी, मम पन शरणागत भयहारी। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। सुनि प्रभु बचन हर्ष हनुमाना, शरणागत बक्षल भगवाना। राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे, राम हरे रघुराम हरे। शरणागत कहु जे तजहि, निज अनहित अनुमानी। ते नर पावर पापमय, तिनहि बिलोकत हानि। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो रे भाई सब संतन की जय। जय श्री राम, जय सीताराम। Today we are seeing this separation of Vibhishan ji from his brother Ravan. I believe that it must have been an extremely emotional time for Vibhishan. Even though his brother was kicking him, he was still holding his brother's feet. Why would somebody do that unless they have extreme love for their brother? So this idea of a younger brother touching the feet of an elder brother is a great ancient tradition which we rarely see today. Today, younger brothers do not see their elder brothers in the same kind of light that Vibhishan did. He says to Ravan, it is good that you're hitting me because it feels like my father is hitting me. You, my big brother, my father is not here. Although when we were young, if our parents hit us, we would get very upset. When our parents have passed away and gone for some time and you're really missing them, you'll say, even though if my father was here and he gave me a few shots, I wouldn't mind that, but at least he would be back with me. So this reminded Vibhishan of his father when his brother was kicking him. And Prabhu Sri Ram, Shankar Bhagwan says something beautiful. He says, this is the nature of a saint. You give him poison, he'll give you back nectar. You give him anger and hatred, he'll give you back love. And this is what Vibhishan was displaying here. You know, some commentators on Ramcharitmanas have actually been critical of Vibhishan. Some have said, Vibhishan knew his brother was wrong. He still stayed in Lanka and enjoyed all the benefits. And when he realized that Ram is coming to destroy Lanka, he quickly swapped sides. Now, according to this Ramcharitmanas that we are reading of Goswami Tulsidas, Tulsi Krit Ramcharitmanas, that is incorrect. It is an incorrect view because we see here and we get the impression that Vibhishan was trying everything to save his brother from the destruction that he was inviting. He wanted to save his brother. So even though his brother insulted him, other ministers left the court, etc., what was Vibhishan doing? He was still trying to convince his brother, still telling him, quoting from the scriptures, from the Purana, Agama, Veda, telling him, listen, Ravan, realize who your true self is. You are a Shishya of the great Rishi called Pulastya. You shouldn't be behaving like this. You are not the Ravan that has captured Sita. You are a Shishya of Pulastya Muni. Therefore, you must behave accordingly. Don't associate yourself with the lust and the material world. Associate yourself with the kind of teachings that were given to us by our grandfather. So Vibhishan waited until the last minute. And this sabha is called a sabha where good things are discussed, is called a dharam sabha. But when the ministers were talking incorrect things, Vibhishan realized that this is no longer a dharam sabha. It is becoming a kusabha. And then he decided to leave. Okay, so it's nice for us to understand this. Then Vibhishan says that I will now go from here. It is so painful for me to leave here, but I'm not going to focus on what is behind me. When I walk, I'm going to focus on what is in front of me. And what did he put in front of him? What is he focusing on? He says, with these eyes of mine, I will see those feet that were sitting in the paduka that Bharatji put on his head and worshipped. So if you know this katha of how Bharat took Ramji's wooden sandals, kharao, and put it on his head, and he walked with it on his head from the forest right back to Ayodhya. Because he said, I'm only going back to rule Ayodhya if Ramji gives me his blessings and I will place his sandals on the throne. But how did he take the sandals and go? He put it on his head because symbolically he wanted his brother's blessings. He wanted his brother's feet touching his head. See, when we want somebody's blessings, we place our forehead on their feet. And this is what Bharat wanted. Now, Vibhishanji is almost as if jealous of that. He's saying, I too want to see those feet which Bharat was absorbed in. Okay, this is what Vibhishan is saying. He's focusing. So in every calamity in our life, every separation in our life, every bit of pain in our life, there is always something that is going to come after that, which is better. If we surrender ourselves to Bhagwan, like Vibhishan said, Bhajale Ram, 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 you're constantly worshipping Ram. Believe me, after every trough, there will be a spike. After falling into a valley, you will climb up and be at the top of another mountain. This is how Prabhu Sri Ram guides his devotees. And I firmly believe here that he is guiding Vibhishan. He's taking away Vibhishan's pain by making him think of the Lord, by making him think of himself. So now Vibhishan is very emotional and he is so happily wanting to go. It is absolutely clearly visible that Vibhishan always wanted to get darshan of Bhagwan. At the beginning of the Sundarkand, we read that when Hanumanji entered Lanka and he was viewing all the dwellings, he says there was one dwelling, Rama Yuddha Ankita Graha. There was one graha, one building, which had painted on it, Rama Ayudha Ankita Graha. The weapons of Sri Ram were painted on the walls of Vibhishan's house. That will tell you that he had a longing for the Lord and that was his goal. And today this was going to become possible. Why did he not go before this? Because he did not want to betray his brother. He wanted to save his brother and he made an effort right up until the very, very last moment. Ehi vidhi karata saprema vichara ayahu sapati sindhu ehi para. Vibhishan now is going to meet Bhagwan. And in this way, very, very happily, with a lot of love in his heart, he made his way across the ocean. He crossed the ocean to go and meet Prabhu Sri Ram. Kapina Vibhishana avata dekha. All the monkeys saw him approaching. And what did they do? Jana ko rupi duta visekha. Is he possibly one of the enemy? Why has he come here? Tahira ki kapi sapai ai samachara sabatai sunai. Seeing him, he had crossed the ocean and was coming there now to this encampment where Prabhu Sri Ram was with the monkey host. So they took, and then all kinds of thoughts were going into their head. Is he some kind of messenger? Has he come to spy? Is he just disguised as something else and he's going to suddenly take a different form and start fighting with them, etc.? These are the thoughts that were going through their mind. You see, people who are engaged in warfare, they are always suspicious. People who live by the sword are always suspicious. They believe that everybody else is coming with a sword towards them. Now, people in this world also, I have noticed, sometimes for no good reason, they are suspicious of everybody. I know that in this world, we mustn't trust anybody, etc., etc., etc. But do we really need to be suspicious of every person that comes to us? Undue suspicion is not a nice thing. And it makes life very difficult for us as well when people behave in this way, isn't it? So I don't think that we should be suspicious of everybody that approaches us or everybody that we deal with, etc. Yes, we must be cautious, but not suspicious. Okay? So we need to think about that. Now, what did Sugriv do? He goes to Prabhu Sri Ram and he says to Prabhu Sri Ram, somebody has come. Ravan's brother has arrived here. Dasanana Bhai, the brother of the 10-headed monster, has arrived here. Prabhu Sri Ram starts to smile. He doesn't give his opinion. He says to Sugriv, Sugriv, what do you think of this matter? And now we see Sugriv, the all suspicious one. He says, listen, I don't trust these demons. So maybe I must come back to what I said earlier on. When demons are approaching us, then we must be suspicious. When good people are approaching us, let us be more hospitable. So he says to Prabhu Sri Ram that these demons cannot be trusted. They are devious beyond comprehension, and we don't even know where he's coming from or what kind of form he really has, because these demons, they can take any form at will. So sometimes they can appear like an ordinary human being. Sometimes they can take the form of a monster. Anything they can do. So please, we have to be very, very careful. And probably he came here to spy. He came here to spy and see what our secrets are. Therefore, let us take him as a prisoner. Let us tie him up. Now look at Prabhu Shri Ram's response. He says, listen, what you have told me now is very good when we are dealing with politics. So he says in politics, in Niti, Rajniti, what you said is right. He said, but when somebody is seeking refuge in me, in other words, they are approaching God, I cannot use politics. It's a different matter altogether. So you see, when we are engaged in politics, we must use the rules of politics. In our personal relationships with people, love must prevail, not politics. Politics do not belong in personal relationships. Politics must stay in the office. Politics must stay in that sector. Politics must not come into our personal relationships. And Vibhishan's relationship with God is one of a devotee, servant to the master. When a servant approaches the master, there's no such thing as suspicion, because the servant is exactly what he says. He's there to serve. He's not there to do anything else. And now Tulsi Das ji says to us that Hanumanji, who was there, he says, Suni Prabhu Vachana Harasha Hanumana. Listening to such beautiful words of love, Hanumanji becomes excited. He becomes so happy. And he says, Saranagata Bhaktala Bhagavana. He says, he cherished his affection for Bhagwan. Why? He's saying Bhagwan is Sharanagata Bhaktala Bhagavana. Sharanagata, Sharan means shelter. Agata means the one who we seek shelter in. And the act of seeking shelter is called Sharanagati. Sharanagati. See, when somebody comes to you for shelter, comes to you sincerely, you must be merciful. That is the word. You must be merciful and open your heart to them. That is called Sharanagati. So, Vibhishan has come here for shelter, and Bhagwan is then described as Bhaktala Bhagavana, the one who is dear to his devotees, who is all merciful to his devotees. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Raghupati Raghav Raja Ram Patita Pavan Sita Ram. Koti Vipravadala Gahi Jahu. आये शरण तजहु नहीं ताहु सनमुख होहि जीव मोहि जबहि जन्म कोटि अगना सही तबहि रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम पापवंत कर सहज स्वभाहु भजनु मोर तहि भाव न काहु जो पे दुष्ट हृदय सोहि होहि मोरे सनमुख आव की सोहि रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम निर्मल मन जन सो मोहि पावा मोहि कपट छल छेद्र न भावा भेद लेन पटवा दस सीसा तबहु न कछु भय हानि कपीसा रघुपति राघव राजा राम पतित पावन सीताराम जगमहु सखा निसाचर जेते लक्ष्य मनोहर नये निमिष महुते ते, जो सभीत आवह सरनाही, राखियो ताहि प्राण की नाई। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। रघुपति राघव राजा राम, पतित पावन सीताराम। ओ भय भाति तेहि आनहु, हसी कह कृपा निकेत। जय कृपाल कहि कपि चले, अंगद हनु समेत। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। Prabhu Sri Ram is continuing to speak and he says, जो मनुष्य अपने अहित का अनुमान करके शरणों में आया हुआ का त्याग कर देते हैं, वे पामर है, पापमय है, उन्हें देखने में भी हानि है. So he says those people who have no mercy for somebody that is seeking shelter and only see evil in that person, they are actually sinful in nature. See? So Bhagwan is showing us here why he is called Daya Sindhu, Kripa Sindhu. What is he showing us? He's showing us that despite all the kinds of things that happen in this world, we must not lose our mercy, our softness, our love for other creatures, for other people that are in need. He goes on to say, Koti Vipra Vadalage hi chao, Ai Sarana Tajahu Nahi Taho. He says, even if a person has killed many Brahmins, pure souls, but they repent for it, they regret what they have done, and they come and seek shelter with me, he says, I will not abandon them. I will welcome them. So this is showing us that no matter what we have done in the past, this life, previous lives, etc., that we are still worthy for the shelter of the Lord, provided we want to take the right path. That means it is never too late to start approaching Bhagwan and putting behind us, like Vibhishan put Ravan behind him and started moving towards the feet of God. All the Ravan-like things that we have in our life, put it behind us and let's start moving towards the feet of Bhagwan. So this Tulsidas ji uses this example to show us the kind or the depth of Bhagwan's mercy. He says, even if you killed Brahmins, now we know that we read in Ramcharitmanas where Bhagwan, where Tulsidas ji says, Go Dvijadena Santa Hitakari. Go Dvijadenu Santa Hitakari. Bhagwan appears in this world for the purpose of saving, protecting Go Dvija, the cow, the Brahman, and all of nature, and the saints. That means the Brahmanas, those who are living pious lives, are very dear to Bhagwan. But Bhagwan is saying, even if you kill the Brahman, or many of them, if you are truly sorry and you are seeking refuge in me, I will welcome you, because you are making progress. You are trying for progress. He says then, Sanamukha hohi jiva mohi jabahi janma koti aganasa hi jabai. He says the moment somebody decides that they want to follow this path of Sharanagati, in other words, he wants to surrender his actions to me, he starts looking for me. Even at the very beginning, I will take away millions of lives of sins. Millions of lives of sins, I will take it away. So in other words, before you start even living a fully pious life, just saying to yourself, making a sankalp, I am now going to become a Ram Bhakt. I am going to do the right things. I'm going to seek him. Bhagwan says, I'll start taking away your sins. So just having the right kind of attitude, making the right kind of sankalp is a brilliant and wonderful start. But if we don't make that pledge, we don't make that sankalp, how will you bring about change in your life? how will anybody bring about change in their life? There has to be a point in our lives where we say, I am going to try harder. I'm going to focus my mind on the feet of Bhagwan. He will take control of what's going to happen. That which seems seemingly impossible for me, he will make it possible for me. Now Bhagwan goes on to say, he says, a sinner, that person who is a papavanta, the person who is a great sinner, he will not even worship me, let alone look for me. Now this is a wonderful message we're getting here. You will notice that perhaps in the world, some people have to be coaxed into doing prayer, have to be motivated into doing prayer. And even when they do it sometime, they don't like it. It may be boring for them, it may be too much of an effort for them, etc. Now, according to this particular verse, Bhagwan is saying, the thing that keeps them away from me, that makes them dislike prayer, that makes them not want to go to satsang, not want to go to temples, etc., he says is the sinful lives that they are living. So when we commit sins, the biggest problem with it is not just the karma that we're going to face, but the fact that our sins are drawing us away from God. Therefore, we must not sin. Our only hope is to be attracted to God. And you heard what he said in the previous line. He said, I will take away your sins just when you think of me and start seeking me. So he says those people who don't want to worship, it's because of their sins. Okay? So now he says, if Vibhishan had a kutila bhav, he was a wicked person. He came here with some kind of ulterior motive. He won't even be able to approach me. See what Ram is saying? Nobody is going to come close to me if they are not actually loving me and seeking me. They will come close to me. He says that person who has a pure mind, only he can attain me. So, false appearances are not going to get us to Bhagwan. What is going to get? Pure mind. Sometimes it is very difficult to know a person's true intentions. That is true. But there is one who always knows your true intention, and that is Bhagwan. If you are sincere in what you do, Bhagwan knows it. And he will open many, many doors for you if that sincerity is present there. Bhagwan now says how he feels about people with the contrary bhav. That means they are kapat. Kapat means not true, dishonest. He says these kind of people, they have no, he says, I resent them. I don't want them near me. I only want those who have pure thoughts or are sincere. Better word is sincere. And then he says, see, even if Ravan sent Vibhishan here to come and find out our secrets, we don't have anything to fear, because listen, Sugriv, we have Lakshman here. And Lakshman, at the blink of an eye, he can destroy the whole world. So don't worry about anything. Why is he saying this? Because we know that Lakshman is an avatar of Sheshnag. Sheshnag, the great serpent that Bhagwan lies on, is called Sheshnag. And it says sometimes when Bhagwan dissolves this world, he uses fire to do it. And the fire emits from the mouth of the Sheshnag. And it burns all of creation and reduces it to ashes. And all the living entities, the souls of all the creatures and beings, enter back into Bhagwan. So who is the one that does this? That form or manifestation that is called Lakshman, Sheshnag. So Bhagwan is saying to Sugriv, don't worry, see who we got standing here. I don't even have to do anything. In a blink of an eye, he'll destroy all the demons. So don't worry, let Vibhishan come. And if he is coming here out of fear, because he is scared, he is welcome here, because I remove people's fear. That is what I do. So anybody who approaches God, their fear will be removed. That is what we need to remember. We're now going to read the third chopai for today, which is our last one. And then we will be able to conclude. So I ask you to join me in the recital. उभय भांति तेहि आनहु हसी कह कृपा निकेत, जय कृपाल कहि कपि चले अंगद हनु समेत। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय बोलो हनुमान की। सादर तेहि आगे करि बानर, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, चले जहाँ रघुपति करुणा कर, जय बोलो हनुमान की। दूर ही ते देखे दो भ्राता, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, नयनानंद दान के दाता, जय बोलो हनुमान की। बहुरी राम छवि धाम बिलो की, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, रहु टुटुकी एटक एकटक फल रोकी, जय बोलो हनुमान की। भुज प्रलंब कंजारुन लोचन, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, श्यामल गात प्रणत भय मोचन, जय बोलो हनुमान की। सिंह कंद आयत उर सोही, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, आनन अमित मदन मन मोहा, जय बोलो हनुमान की। नयन नीर पुलकित अति गाता, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, मन धरि धीर कही मृदु बाता, जय बोलो हनुमान की। नाथ दसानन कर में भ्राता, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, निशिचर बंस जनम सुर त्राता, जय बोलो हनुमान की। सहज पाप प्रियतामस देहा, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जता उलूकहि तम पर नेहा, जय बोलो हनुमान की। राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, राम लक्ष्मण जानकी, जय बोलो हनुमान की। जय बोलो हनुमान की, जय बोलो हनुमान की। श्रवण सुजसु सुनियायहु, प्रभु भंजन भव भीर, त्राहि त्राहि आरति हरन, सरन सुकत रघुबीर, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। Where Vibhishan was waiting to enter this place to come closer to Sri Ram, obviously he was held up there by the monkey troops. So the guards of this encampment asked him to stand there and not move while Sugriv went and spoke to Prabhu Sri Ram. Now the message was sent that they should allow him to approach. So what happened? Sadaratehi age karibanar. Once Bhagwan gave his permission, the monkeys now respectfully put Vibhishan in front of them and asked him to now start to approach Bhagwan. See, this is what happens. When Bhagwan wills it, everybody will start treating his devotees with respect. Devotees of God are to be respected, and Bhagwan sees to it. See how nicely now the monkey host, the Vanar host, are taking Vibhishan towards Bhagwan. See, I want to also tell you something, that this meeting of Vibhishan and Prabhu Sri Ram, there's always, in the world they say there's very often there's a middleman in everything, if I can use that term. And sometimes the middleman costs you extra money, but sometimes the middleman makes things happen faster. Why? Sometimes the middleman knows more than us. He knows a faster method. And Hanumanji, in this case, is the bridge between devotees and the Lord. See, when Hanumanji went to Lanka and he saw Vibhishan's behavior, what did Hanumanji see? He saw in the morning Vibhishan woke up. The minute he opens his eyes, Vibhishan says, Ram, 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 Ram. Immediately Hanumanji, by seeing that, so no, Vibhishan didn't know that Hanumanji was watching him. So it couldn't have been a pretense. Hanumanji was concealed, hiding, and he saw Vibhishan get up and say, Ram, Ram. Immediately, Hanumanji knew this is a true Bhakt of Bhagwan. And what then happens? Hanumanji creates that bridge to cross the ocean, the bridge, the water that exists between, the ocean that exists between the Lord and a devotee has to be crossed, and Hanumanji is that bridge. He makes it possible for us to cross that ocean and reach Prabhu Sri Ram. So Vibhishan, through both Prabhu Sri Ram's grace and Hanumanji's grace, has crossed the ocean now, and he's approaching God. See? So there's a beautiful story, if I can just, for a few moments, take you a little bit away from the text. What I just said to you now is also wonderfully and beautifully encapsulated in a story about Tulsidasji. You see, Tulsidasji went to this place called Chitrakoot, and you would have heard of Chitrakoot. Ramji lived in Chitrakoot for, I think, around 12 years of his Banavas. Chitrakoot is in Madhya Pradesh, and if you go to Prayagraj, from there it will probably take you 3 or 4 hours to drive to this place called Chitrakoot. And Chitrakoot is a forest on the banks of the Mandakini River. So there's a Mandakini River there, and the place where Prabhu Sri Ram used to bathe in this Chitrakoot is called Ram Ghat. Chitrakoot Ghat. So Tulsidasji, it is said, was able to see and communicate with Hanumanji. And he's constantly complained to Hanumanji. He says, I keep thinking of Sri Ram. I'm doing all this literary work, but I want to see Prabhu Sri Ram. I want to see him, Hanumanji. Eventually, Hanumanji said to him, see, don't worry. Tomorrow you are going to see him. So in the morning, like he normally did, Tulsidasji is sitting at Ram Ghat on the banks of this river. And what is he doing? Did his puja, and then he's mixing chandan. He's mixing chandan to give all the people. You know, chandan is such an important thing, and it has so much of significance. One day on another satsang, we must actually deal with that. So Tulsidasji is making this chandan. And then a bird sitting on the tree sings this verse. Chitrakoot ke ghat par bhay santan ke bheed, Tulsidas chandan gise tilak det raghubira. While Tulsidasji is making this chandan, a whole line of people, a big crowd comes there, and Tulsidasji is giving them chandan. Chandanam vandyate nityam pavitram papanashanam apadam harate nityam lakshmir vasati sarvadha. He's giving everybody chandan. And one bird on the tree is singing and saying, Chitrakoot ke ghat para. At this Chitrakoot ghat, Tulsidas chandan gise. Tulsidasji, the bird is singing and saying, Tulsidasji is making the chandan. And he says, Tilaka de Raghubir. He says he's now giving Raghubir chandan. And when Tulsidasji looks carefully, he sees 2 boys with the bow and arrow, little boys with bow and arrow. He's giving them chandan, which he thought initially may have been ordinary 2 boys playing there. That was Ram and Lakshman. And Tulsidasji gave them chandan. Who was the bird singing on the tree? Hanumanji. He made it possible for Tulsidasji to meet Prabhu Sri Ram. Amongst this big crowd, 2 came there that were Ram and Lakshman. So, once again, we are seeing that worship of Hanuman is so popular in the world because he makes things happen. Bhagwan has blessed him, has blessed Hanumanji with this quality, that he will be able to bring people closer and closer to him. And that is how he has brought Vibhishan to the feet of Bhagwan Sri Ram. Now, as he is walking, Vibhishan, he can see Ram and Lakshman sitting on a rock. And from far, as he's getting closer and closer, it says that Vibhishan was so enraptured, so excited, so full of love, he stopped blinking. He didn't want to blink because he didn't want to lose sight of Bhagwan even for one moment. And now Tulsi Dasji describes to us what Vibhishan is seeing as he is coming closer and closer to Bhagwan. Bhuja pralamba kanjaruna lochana samalagata pranata bayamochana. He says he saw the long arms of Bhagwan. So it says that Bhagwan had long hands and his eyes were reddish, like red lotus flowers. Absolutely beautiful. And he says, when you see the arms and legs of Bhagwan, immediately it rids one of fear. The fear leaves them. Therefore, we say to people, meditate on the form of Bhagwan. Look at his murti, look at his pictures, and worship him. Your fear will go away. Okay? And then he says his shoulders were like Singakanda ayata urasoha. Singakanda. His shoulders were like built like that of a lion, absolutely muscular, and a broad chest. He had a broad and muscular chest. And he says, just looking at him, one would become enchanted by his beauty. This is the nature of the Lord's body. And he says, tears started to come into the eyes. Nayana nira pulakita atigata. Tears came into his eyes. If you have enough love in you, when you worship Bhagwan, when you sing his bhajans, tears will come to your eyes. And it doesn't mean that you're a weak person if tears comes to your eyes at this time, because it shows your true emotion that you are feeling inside. And it is a sign of bhakti ras. Bhakti ras means true love for Bhagwan. Again, what he does, he says he quickly gathered himself, however, and he spoke to Bhagwan and listened to his honesty. He didn't come there and say, Prabhu Shri Ram, I am your bhakt. Every morning I get up, I say Ram, Ram. Every morning I do Arti. I do so many rounds of japa. I do puja part. He didn't say all of that. Listen to Vibhishan's humility. And this is why he was able to approach God, because of his humility. He didn't come and say, I did this and this and this. He came there and he says, Nata dasana karame brata. I am the brother of that dasanan, that 10-headed one. Nisichara vansajanama suratrata. He says, I am born in the race of demons. Nisichara, the ones who roam at night. That's where I am born. He didn't come and say, I am born in the dynasty of kings who are ruling Lanka, etc. He says, no, I'm born in the dynasty of the demons. Okay? Sahaja papa priyatama deha. He says, my body is tamasic in nature. My bhav is tamasic in nature, because demons are naturally inclined to do what? Sin, to commit sin. He says, to such an extent, our natural tendencies are that just like how the owl likes nighttime. See, owl, you don't see them flying around in the sunlight. Apparently, it's harmful to their eyes. So owls come out only in the night. And just like how they like the darkness, demons like to commit sin. He says, this is my nature. Now, this is humility. What has he done? He's taken all these weaknesses and he's placing it at the feet of Bhagwan. This is what we need to do. Be honest with ourselves, be aware of our weaknesses, and place it at the feet of Bhagwan. And you will see what he will do. Bhagwan will destroy all those weaknesses. Of course, we must make effort, but in the end, everything will be good. We are now going to stop here. I thank you for joining us in this journey of Ramcharitmanas, the Sundarkand. We are on the third day, and I hope that you will complete this Saptaha. You must make your observance complete. You must listen to Ram Katha every day of Ramayan week, including on the day that Bhagwan Shri Ram appears, Navami, and you will find that Ram Navami celebration will be much more meaningful to you, and you will enjoy it a lot better. We are now going to have the Ram Chalisa. It will be on your screen, or you can follow it in your books. I urge you to join in the recital. You must read the Ram Chalisa, sing along, and make the best of this opportunity. Jai Shri Ram. Katha visarjan hot hai, suno veer Hanuman. आसन को प्रभु जाइए, सिया सखा सहित भगवान। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय।
नीलाम्बुज श्यामल कोमलिंगम, सीता समारूपिति वामभागम्, पाणौ महासायक चारुचापम्, नमामि रामं रघुवंशनाथम्। रघुवीर भक्त हितकारी, सुन लीजिए प्रभु अर्ज हमारी। निस दिन ध्यान धरे जो कोई, तासम भक्त और नहीं होई। ध्यान धरे शिव जी मन माही, ब्रह्मा इंद्र पार नहीं पाए। जय 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 रघुनाथ कृपाला, सदा करो संतन प्रतिपाला। दूत तुम्हारे वीर हनुमाना, जासु प्रभाव देहूं पुर जाना। तब भुजदंड प्रचंड कृपाला, रावण मारी सुरन प्रतिपाला। तुम आनाथ के नाथ गोसाई, दीनन के हो सदा सहाय। ब्रह्मादिक तव पार न पावे, सदा ईश तुम्हरो यश गावे। चारों वेद भरत है साखी, तुम भक्तन की लज्जा राखी। गुण गावत शारद मन माही, सुरपति को पार न पाही। नाम तुम्हार लेत जो कोई, तासम धन्य और नहीं होई। राम नाम है अपरंपारा, चारों वेद निज ही पुकारा। गणपति नाम तुम्हारो लीनो, तिनको प्रथम पूजे तुम कीन्हो। शेष रतत नित नाम तुम्हारा, मही को भार शीश पर धारा। फूल समान रहत सोहारा, पवना करो तुम्हारो पारा। भरत नाम नहीं कोई युद्ध जुड़े यमहू की होई। महालक्ष्मी घर अवतारा सब विधि करत पाप को चारा। सीता नाम पुनीता गायो भुवनेश्वर भई प्रभव दिखायो। घट सो प्रकट भय सो आई जाको देखत चंद्र लजाई। सो सुमिरे नित पाव पलोतत नवनिधि चरणन में लोतत। सिद्धि आधार मंगलकारी सो तुम पर जावे बलिहारी। और जो अनेक प्रभुतारी सो सीतापत तुम ही बनाई। इच्छा ते को तिन संसार रचत न लागत फल की वारा। जो तुम्हारे चरणन चित लावे ताको मुक्ति अवश्य हो जावे। जय 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 प्रभु ज्योत स्वरूपा निर्गुण ब्रह्म अखंड अनूपा। सत्य 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 व्रत स्वामी सत्य सनातन अंतर्यामी। सत्य भजन तुम रोजो गावे सो निश्चय चरणन फल पावे। सत्य शपथ गौरी पत की नहीं तुमने भक्ति सब सिद्ध दीनी। सुनो राम तुम तात हमारे तुम ही भरत कुल पूज्य प्रचारे। तुम ही देव कुल देव हमारे तुम गुरुदेव प्राण के प्यारे। जो कुछ हो सो तुम ही राजा। जय 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 प्रभु राखो राजा। राम आत्मा पोषण हारे जय 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 दशरथ के दुलारे। ज्ञान हृदय दो ज्ञान स्वरूपा नमो नमो जय जगपति भूपा। धन्य धन्य तुम धन्य प्रताप नाम तुम्हार हरत संतापा। सत्य शुद्ध देवन मुख गाया बजी दुंदुबी शंख बजाया। सत्य सत्य तुम सत्य सनातन तुम ही हो हमारे तन मन धन। या को पाठ करे जो कोई ज्ञान प्रकट ताके उड़ होई। अवगामन बीतेती केरा सत्य वचन माने शिव मेरा, और आस मन में जो होई, मन वांछित फल पावे सोई। तीनों काल ध्यान जो ल्यावे, तुलसी दल और फूल चढ़ावे, साग पत्र सो भोग लगावे, सोनर सकल सीधिता पावे। अंत समय रघुबरपुर जाए, जहाँ जन्म हरि भक्त कहाई। श्री हरिदास कहे अरु गावे, सोवे कुंत धाम को जावे। 7 दिवस जो नीम कर, पाठ करे चित लाए। हरिदास हरि कृपा से, अवश्य भक्त को पाए। राम चालीसा जो पढ़े, राम चरण चित लाए। जो इच्छा मन में करे, सकल सिद्धि हो जाए।
कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानी सहितं नमामि। मङ्गलं भगवान् विष्णुः मङ्गलं गरुडध्वज मङ्गलं पुण्डरीकाक्ष मङ्गलाय तनोहरि। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। नारायणी नमोऽस्तुते। ॐ यानि कानि च पापानि जन्मान्तरकृतानि च तानि तानि विनश्यन्ति प्रदक्षिणा पदे पदे। ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ अपराधसहस्राणि क्रियन्ते हर्निशं मया दासोऽयमिति मां मत्वा क्षमस्व परमेश्वर। आवाहनं न जानामि न जानामि विसर्जनं पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षमस्व परमेश्वर। अन्यथा शरणं नास्ति त्वमेव शरणं मम तस्मत्कारुण्यभावेन रक्ष त्वं परमेश्वर। बोली विघ्नहर्ता गणेश भगवान की जय। जगत जननी पार्वती माता की जय। शिव शंकर भगवान की जय। सीतारामचंद्र भगवान की जय। लक्ष्मण जी की जय। महावीर स्वामी बजरंगबली की जय। श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण भगवान की जय। श्री बालकृष्ण भगवान की जय। गंगा यमुना सरयू सरस्वती मैया की जय। श्री राधे कृष्ण भगवान की जय। सब पितर देव की जय। ओम नमः पार्वती पतये हर हर महादेव हर। जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे जय जय श्री राधे श्याम। सबको जय सिया राम।